Here's the thing. Straight off the bat, the first Pokemon movie is just the fucking greatest. It's the greatest. For one, it's you actually don't feel like your fucking brain is slowly just melting and pouring out of your ears when you're watching it, like the later movies. The movie's awesome, man. Honestly, when I was a kid, it was awesome. Watching as a grown-up is awesome as well because it does everything good. It shows a couple of new Pokemon here and there. It takes a really cool concept of the whole Mewtwo thing from the game, which is like you didn't really pay attention to it, but watching it as a movie, you're like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. It did things you wouldn't see in the show. For example, people die in this. Legit just die. When Mewtwo comes to you and realizes what he is, and he struggles with his identity, and we're going to get to that because there's a lot of that going on, he just kills everybody. And you're like, as a kid, I was like, you're going to see them flying out like Team Rocket or whatever? Nope. That motherfucker's dumb, bro. Mewtwo burned them all to a crisp. So he goes off to a tangent and shit like that. You know, I mean, everyone must have seen the movie. But it's crazy watching back going, man, they really did that in the movie. They're like, you know what, we're going to show people actually dying. But of course, Ash doesn't die for some fucking reason. Even though every time anything bad happens, he's like, I'm going to run in the middle of this. But that first movie was awesome, dude. It had some, like, great dialogue, you know what I mean? Outside of the cheesy, like, kiddie nature of the things, the whole idea of identity and creation and who I am and where do I belong and what about the people that have done me wrong, and the whole movie culture, it just builds up to the climax when Mewtwo has his clones essentially just fighting all the other Pokemon in the big ass Coliseum looking thing, which was awesome, by the way. And the part when Ash gets turned into like a fucking, like one of those crystals that all of you put by the side of your room to collect moon power or whatever. Listen, man, after watching it back, Ash just still hit, man. It's still hit. Because you're like, damn, Ash really he don't go and get it. And then it's like, okay. And then Mewtwo drops like some like great quotes. I don't want to rephrase it because it would sound corny as fuck. But the concept of like, you don't necessarily, where you come from and what you're born as should not define where you go or what you are in life. As a child, you hear that and you're like, man, Mewtwo's a good guy, you know. As a grown-up, you're like, damn, bro, yeah, that's just kind of deep. You can kind of apply it everywhere. And I remember doing that once when I was doing a talk in my local church. Which is hilarious looking back at it. But that first fucking Pokemon movie, dude, is a 10. Only because it's something you watch as a kid and was awesome. You watch it as a grown-up is awesome. The only gripe I had with it, actually, it's got to be a 10 because out of all of them, it's the only one that's great. The only gripe I had with it, man, dude, when Ash died, that motherfucker should have stayed dead. That would have been the most shocking thing ever. And then after that, you can maybe kind of go off the, oh, you know what I mean? The whole understanding when Mewtwo kind of realizes shit. Just because, you know, I was created in a lab somewhere and I'm a copy of this other motherfucking Pokemon, that doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? That shit was, I was wondering, I was like, man, if they did that, that would have been the most ballsy thing ever. But they didn't, and then he turns into stone, and then the tears of all the Pokemon bring him back. It sounds corny and cheesy, and as a kid, I cried my fucking eyes watching that. I almost teared up watching that now. But bro, it's the gold standard, and sadly never got better. The second movie wasn't bad, which I'm going to get to, and the third one, actually, the third one might be my second favorite out of all of them, but everything else after that was literally like cutting your eyes out and shoving them right up your anus. It is an unbearable watch. But we'll get to that eventually.